Double dose.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Double Dose. Hi Taylor.
Hello.
What's been happening?
Not too much. I'm excited to get into this episode.
Me too. This is a juicy, good episode. We've got an exciting guest coming on later.
Yes.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
All right, so do we want to start with our new segment?
Mm-hmm. This was really hard.
It was really hard.
Myself.
So now we're not doing the double dose segment because Taylor and I are both not drinking. So
Sober queens.
Sober queens. So we had to think of something else, and we decided that we're going to do a who's who.
Yeah.
Which is where Taylor and I have given Caleb 2 facts each about ourselves, and he has to guess which one's which.
Yeah. Roping Caleb into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Sorry.
Okay, well, I'll see how it goes. I'm nervous now.
I was nervous writing them because I'm like, we talk so much.
I know.
Like we've probably said half of these things and you
Oh.
actually know the answer.
For sure.
I have hand-fed wild dolphins. I have rode an elephant. My first dog's name was Buffy. And when I was 5, I forgot about my 2 hamsters and they died.
Okay, so I got to guess out of all these 4 facts, are they all true?
They're all true.
They're all true.
So
Okay.
2
Two
are
are-
Taylor's and 2 are mine.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Can I ask questions?
Yeah, of course.
And who's answering the questions, though?
Oh, well, that's actually hard. Okay, maybe
How about
Hannah.
Taylor has to answer every question then?
Oh,
Because she's the one that read it.
Okay. This is getting more difficult.
I'm just trying to think because, like, I got to base this on something other than just the facts.
The facts, yeah.
Okay, when you said you fed wild dolphins, dolphins, were they like at SeaWorld, do you mean? Or do you mean like?
no, like actually wild. So
Alright.
it was a place where you could like pay to do it, but it was sort of, will they show up? Will they not show up?
Okay, and what did you feed them?
One fish.
One fish, okay. Alright. Is it okay, no. I'm sorry. As I said, I was nervous now.
So much pressure.
Okay, no, I feel like Annie would have a dog named Buffy. I don't know why. I just feel like it's an Annie dog.
Are we saying yes or no as you guess?
No, we can do it at the
Okay.
end. I'll select first,
Okay,
sorry,
you
and then
select.
and then you can give me a correct or not after.
Yeah.
I reckon that's Annie's.
Why wouldn't
I
my
don't-
dog be called
I
Buffy?
don't know. I feel like it's Buffy the Vampire Slayer it was based on for some reason. I don't know. I just feel like Annie's more of a Buffy person.
Fair enough.
I do have 2 sisters as well.
Oh, that's true. Okay. When I was 5, I forgot about the 2 hamsters. They died. What do you mean forget? How'd you forget about the hamsters?
Just forget to feed them because they're
Oh,
in a
shame.
hutch, like a hutch out in the backyard.
Okay, but you love animals.
I know, but at 5, I didn't really know any better.
Okay. No, fair enough. They're all animal based, hey? Is this the animal who's who?
This was actually unplanned.
It was unplanned, yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm going to guess that Annie's is the dog named Buffy and the elephants. Like you rode an elephant.
Do you want us to
And
say
then Taylor, I reckon. Yeah,
yes or no?
yes.
So, wait, what did you say again?
I said, yep, your dog's name was Buffy.
correct?
An elephant.
And then the elephant, you rode an elephant.
Incorrect. Although I have ridden an elephant, but that one was
Oh.
Taylor's.
Okay.
Mine was the wild dolphins and the elephant.
Yeah, no,
You're right.
was-
I would not kill my hamsters.
yeah.
Okay, I just
My
want to
rabbit
back
did
myself
die,
up
but it
here.
wasn't my fault.
I want to defend myself
Yeah,
here.
fair enough.
I was 5 years old, okay, and we kept them in like, it was like, oh, this sounds really bad, but like there's a closet under the stairs.
Okay.
In like
Harry Potter
a
style.
big cage though, like they had a big cage, but when they're in the closet, you don't think about them that much. And I just forgot that they were there. And then like apparently they died weeks ago. Like it had been 4 weeks.
shame.
And then I
Oh,
was like, hey
no.
mum, where's Hamtaro? And I forget what the other one was called.
Hamtaro.
Yeah.
Hamtaro.
From that show. You know that old show?
The only reason
Yeah,
I know
Hamtaro.
about this is because it's my boyfriend's nickname from school.
Really?
That's so funny that you just said
Yeah.
that because we talked about that the other day.
Well, there
I
you
was like,
go.
what was your nickname when you were a kid? And he told me, and he's like, because I look like a hamster.
Oh, shame.
That's so funny. Yeah, anyway. But so I'm sorry, everyone.
No, fair enough.
My
Was
first
that-
dog
I
was
happy
Rocky.
I was right. Rocky.
Yeah, like as in the
Rocky.
fighter Rocky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Does that make more sense?
Yeah, that makes
And
sense.
you had Buffy.
Yeah.
It just makes sense. I don't know why. I can't explain it.
It just
it
makes
suits
sense.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was it based off Buffy the Vampire
So
Slayer?
my mum actually named her,
Okay.
and then she died, and we got a boy dog that looked very similar, and we called
Sorry,
him
the dog dies.
we called him Buffy too,
Yeah. Okay.
and he was a boy.
That's okay.
Buffy too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty lazy.
Yeah,
okay.
very lazy, but anyway.
Oh, very cool.
Okay, Taylor, it is time to get into the sealed section. So for those who don't remember, our sealed section segment is basically like the sealed section in one of your favorite girlhood magazines, where we talk about anything from sex, periods, boys, friendships, all of the above. So yeah, today I wanted to talk about, I guess, being single in your late 20s and feeling lonely and, yeah, a bit isolated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is interesting for us to talk about because we have the two opposing sides.
Yeah, I think so too. So my main point of this for me is that at the moment, I'm basically the only single person in my friendship group. And I really struggled with this over Christmas and like January, summer holidays, because I was down in Melbourne and I had this idea in my head that I was going to go down there and all my friends were going to want to see me all the time. And it was going to be like every other year has been over summer.
Yeah.
And I got down there and I did nothing because all my friends were busy. They were going on little trips with their boyfriends, going away, doing this, doing that, dinners here, dinners there. And I was just at home by myself and I just felt so alone. And it was just like really, really hard because I feel like the thing is as well, like for me, I obviously live away from my family. So my friends are my top priority because that's all I have access to.
Yeah.
Whereas for them, they have their partner, their families, and then their friends. So I'm like number 3 on their priority list, whereas they're number 1 for me. And I think that has been very challenging. And that's something that like I've definitely struggled with over summer.
Yeah. I think I was actually talking about this to someone the other day as well. It's really different with what stage of the relationship your friends are in.
Yes.
Like I have a friend and it's a new relationship and he's like 110% all about her. Whereas me, I'm like, I know I'm going home to my partner.
Yeah.
So if it's fine if I want to like take off for a night and go to Sydney and stay with a friend, which is what I did the other week, because I know I'm coming home to him.
Yes.
So I can like sort of have that friend time and prioritize that. But from the other perspective as well, it's so hard when you're in a relationship to want to hang out with single people because you sometimes just think, oh, they're just going to want to go out and go clubbing and go drinking and I don't really want to do that anymore, especially in your late 20s.
See, that's interesting because I'm at my point in my life, I'm still single, but I do not want to go out partying. Like I'm so done with that. All I want to do with my friends is go on walks, go have brunch together, go out for nice dinners together, do a little like weekend trip or something like that, like just really wholesome stuff.
Yeah.
And maybe that was a miscommunication with me and my friends over summer. Like they didn't realize that that's what I wanted. I don't know.
Were they working as well? Or off
No,
work?
a lot of them had that time off work.
Yeah.
And it's not like I'm not angry at them, obviously. Like that's just life, you know,
Yeah.
priorities change and stuff. But it was just something, it was a bit of a wake up call. And I was down in Melbourne for 3 months. So it was really like, I had a lot of time to think about
a long
it.
3 months.
Yeah, it was a long 3 months.
It's really tricky to talk about because I think everyone's situation is different and some people probably would get upset with their friends and be like, well, I reckon there's 100% fights that happen over this.
Yeah, it's a transitional period, especially, you know, like with those friends that you guys have been single together for so long and then one of them gets, or multiple of them get into relationships and then you're the sort of the last one standing. I think that's really hard. And then as a single person, I'm going to put this out there. If you're in a relationship, please never say this to a single person. You're going to find them at the time when you're least expecting it. I don't want to hear that. Leave me alone. Shut up. It's like,
I feel like it's kind of true because you're not thinking about it.
Okay. Trust me, I've not been thinking about it for 4 years until this year. This is like the first time I've really started thinking about it. And yeah, it's been 4 years and nothing came along. So I feel like if you're not thinking about it, it's just the right time. At the right time, it'll happen. But I don't think, anyway, I don't know.
Although I think it's easier to find a guy when you go out or even if you're at breakfast or on a walk in a group of girls. You're going to draw more attention. Whereas if you went out to a bar by yourself right now, people are probably going to be like, why the fuck is she by herself?
Yeah.
Like, what did she do?
The other thing is I don't want to meet my guy at like a pub or a bar or a club or anything because, you know, like I went to the PAV the other weekend with my friends who were in relationships and they were like, oh, what about that guy, Annie? What about that guy? And I'm like, no, I'm not interested because I don't want any guy that is hanging out on like getting pissed on a Saturday night. Even though I was there, I was sober. So
What if he was sober?
no, he wasn't because he was rude and he walked past me. He's like, oh, you're that TikTok chick. And I was like, I'm glad I didn't start talking to you before. But anyway, so I want to meet my guy, I think, in like a wholesome scenario just in life. Like I don't think it's going to be a dating app for me.
Yeah, they're a bit shit.
I think they're a bit shit. But anyway, I digress. I think being single in your late 20s is really hard. And thankfully I do still have one friend who is single and we sort of like have really bonded over that.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's going to happen when one of us gets into a relationship?
I think going back to what we were talking about in the beginning over like the Christmas period, I think it's everyone's responsibility to make sure that you're ticking off all of the boxes, your friends, your family, and your partner. It shouldn't be 100%
I know.
to one person.
Yeah, it did feel very like the scale was tilted in one direction and not towards me. And I was pretty open as well with the fact that I was struggling with being alone.
Yeah.
And I think also Christmas period is just in general really, really tough when you are single because you see things online like, oh, I can't tell you how many people I saw either announcing pregnancies or having babies or getting married, engagements, all of that.
Yeah.
And I see these things. I think it also didn't help them, you know, my parents are getting divorced. So I was seeing all these happy families and they're all like
There's
big
always
families.
Last Christmas, just the two of us. And we're like, yep.
Yeah. Anyway, so that just added a little bit, I think, it was just a bit worse. But
I think if they're in new relationships, it's probably going to change.
Yeah.
Especially once they have a routine together or live together, then you're looking to go out and spend more time with your friends.
Yeah, I think so. You're probably right. One of my friends, she's married now, and exactly as you said, like she's been with her partner now, I think, oh God, like almost 10 years, I think it is. And she's like so actively wanting to hang out with me and like my other single friend. And that's really good. I think you get to that point where it's like, well, obviously I'm going to come home to my husband. So I want to go see my friends.
You have that security. But when you're in a new relationship, you're like, oh, I don't want to go out. I don't want to go out with Annie because he might go out with the boys and who knows what's going to happen. Like it's just a bit more fragile. I think.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I think the way that I'm trying to attack this or deal with it is just like taking a step back, not from my friends, just at the situation itself and looking at it. And I think just accepting the fact that, I'm not priority one right now and that's okay. They're still my friends. Obviously the fact that I live interstate makes it hard as well. I think this year I really want to try making like more friendships on the Gold Coast. I'm not saying necessarily, you know, they have to be single or anything like that, but I think just making more friendships in general and just like feeling like more supported in that way is sort of what I want to do moving forward. And hopefully the right guy will come along at some point.
Yeah, when you're on a wholesome walk.
Yes, exactly. Or a run club.
Yeah. I think that talking to people who are in relationships right now, if you do have those friends who are coming to you saying they feel a bit isolated or they want a bit more time with you, it really doesn't take much to go grab a coffee, go for a walk or do Pilates or go for a swim, whatever it is. Once every couple of weeks. That's like filling up your friendship cup for that 1 hour. Like there's so many hours in the week. If you just think, okay, this week I'm going to put 1 hour towards that friend that I haven't seen in a while.
And I can speak on the other side of that as that single person, how special that is and how important that is like, to me when a friendship.
The friendship.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. That's good advice.
Okay, guys, today we have a very exciting guest. She is an OnlyFans model who also has a PhD and also runs a very successful OnlyFans management business. So Quinn Everly, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
Oh, we're so excited to have you.
Oh, thank you.
We have so many questions to ask you.
Okay.
But firstly, we want to hear about your PhD. What is that in and how did you get into that?
Yeah, so it's in medical research in immunology. So study of the immune system was my like area of specialty. So I basically spent 4 years in a lab doing, you know, experiments on cells So.
Wow,
Oh my
that's so
goodness.
cool. What made
Yeah.
you choose that field?
I was always really interested in science and particularly biology, just kind of understanding how things worked. I wanted to do something that might help people one day. So that kind of led me to go into medical research. So yeah, it was an amazing experience. I loved it. But ultimately, obviously, it wasn't the right career for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously you do OnlyFans.
Yes.
So what made you change your career path so drastically?
Yes, it is a huge change. So I actually started in the adult industry during my PhD. Like many people who were studying full time, I was, struggling to pay the bills, got myself into a little bit of debt. And so I had always been really curious about the industry. I actually went into stripping. So I was a dancer for many years, actually. And I loved it. I really thrived in that environment, and I was kind of living this double life for a while. But I found that working in the industry was a lot more like authentic for me. It felt much more suitable for me, and kind of aligned with my values and my goals a lot more. So that kind of got me into the industry to start with, and then went from there and ended up doing OnlyFans, during COVID, which is, again, a pretty common story. So yeah, but it is, very big change.
Yeah. So you've been doing OnlyFans then for like 4 years, is that right?
I think it's 3 years at this point.
Okay,
Yeah. And
yeah.
I was a dancer for 5 years before that.
Okay.
So
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
8 years in the industry so far. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So you film with your husband.
Yes.
Has that affected your relationship at all, good or bad?
Yeah, I feel like, look, everyone that I know who films with a partner finds it really challenging. I would say, yeah, it definitely has an impact on the relationship. We definitely see it as, we're having fun, but it is work. So I would say, our sex life, our personal sex life is different to what we film.
Yeah.
But look, we work really well together overall. We work in everything we do together. And, we have like very complementary skills. So
Yeah.
Do you have to like put time aside? Okay, like these are our filming days, and then this is when we're going to have like our own intimate time.
Yeah, it's for me, I know it may not be this way for other couples, but for me and for us, it is separate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if we're filming, we're filming. Whereas, if we're having sex, just for us, it's separate.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the hardest thing with what you said, Annie, is like filming days are filming days, but then you don't want to look at the other days as like you've designated them for your
Right.
relationship, because then it feels weird. It feels
That
like
would
you're
feel
forcing
weird.
yourself.
Yeah. It's like you kind of want it to happen naturally when you're feeling it.
But sometimes it just doesn't work out that way.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like, oh, I've got all these customs, but actually I just want to have sex with you just to have sex with you, not for someone else to watch.
That would be hard.
It's so every week is different. I feel
Yeah.
like
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very
Yeah,
weird.
we don't film together too much anymore because we focus on our business.
Yeah.
But I think it's hard. It's definitely hard. Everyone I know like says to me they'll end up fighting with their partner, when they're filming. Like it's not easy.
That's what I've heard.
You
too.
can get really frustrated sometimes.
And there's more emotion in the video.
Yeah. How did he react when you first told him you wanted to do OnlyFans, or when you started stripping? Either or.
Yeah, so I was already in the industry when I
Okay.
met him. I actually met him when I was dancing.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he was a customer in the strip club.
Was
So
he?
so
That is
cool.
so saucy. I love that.
Yeah, so he definitely knew that I was in the industry. He's really supportive. He understands like it's a part of who I am, and he's really supportive of it. It was actually his idea for me to do OnlyFans.
Wow.
It was one of those things, everyone, it became really big. Everyone was doing it. And he was kind of like, why don't you do it? And I was like, no, I couldn't possibly. Like, that's not for me. And he was like, no, actually, I think you'd be really good at it. So he's really supportive. Yeah, he's amazing.
Oh, that's
So
good. I
cool.
think
Yeah.
that's quite a common story from going from like dancing to doing OnlyFans. Yeah.
Yeah, look, I was in Melbourne during COVID, so the strip clubs shut down.
True.
And to make an income, like a lot of people did go to OnlyFans, and it's really positive. It's you get to work from home in a safe environment.
100%.
So yeah, it's been amazing for me.
Yeah.
Did you obviously stop dancing because of COVID? did you just not go back into it because you had OnlyFans then and then just thought that was the
Yeah, for a
way to
while,
go?
like after the clubs reopened, I was dancing and doing OnlyFans at the same time.
Yeah.
But it just got to the point where OnlyFans took off and I was making so much more money there that it just didn't make sense for me to be working in the club anymore. And
Yeah.
it's a hard job, like dancing. You know,
Yeah.
you're working nights, you know,
Yeah.
10 to 12 hour shifts. Like
Crazy.
it's so hectic.
I didn't
And-
realize they were that long, the shifts.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it depends on the club,
Yeah.
but the club that I was in, yeah. So, you know, you're doing a 10 or a 12-hour shift in, you know, 8-9 inch heels, you know, and it's so physically exhausting.
And mentally too, because you have
Oh
to
my
talk
God,
to
yeah.
clients
Yep.
and do all
I
that.
mean, it's
as
a
well.
sales job at the end of the day.
100%.
And it's really, I loved it, but it's exhausting. And, you know, it kind of got to that point where I was like, I've been doing this for so long, like I'm over it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so fair. Have you had anything negative come from OnlyFans, whether that be like stalkers or just anything bad happen?
Yeah, look, overall, I think I've been really lucky. I
Yeah.
haven't had anything really negative like that. Obviously, I have had friends who've had stalkers and things like that.
Yeah.
For me, overall, it's been quite positive, especially coming from doing in-person sex work. It actually is quite a bit safer in my experience. I think the most challenging thing for me with doing OnlyFans and just being in the industry in general has been living a kind of a double life. I found that really hard, particularly when I was studying for my PhD and, you know, I had to keep it a secret that I kind of had this other life. And I found that really hard because I'm the kind of person who is a very open book and I like to be very honest and authentic. And so I found that really, really challenging. Now, obviously, I'm not living that kind of double life anymore and I'm more out in the open. Everyone kind of knows. But yeah, I think that's really, really hard.
Yeah.
I had a friend who stopped OF because she was studying and nothing ever came, like she didn't get in trouble at work or at uni or anything like that, but she just always had it in the back of her mind. She was always stressed about someone finding out. So she stopped
Totally.
just because of
Yeah, I
that. And
can understand
there
that.
was no real threat, but it was just the panic
paranoia
of being,
or something.
paranoia about something happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was super paranoid. Like, and I had people that, you know, I worked with came into the club. You know, I had that experience where like, but they didn't recognize me. That's the funny thing.
Oh, so they saw you.
Yeah, but didn't recognize me. I think
That's
because you're
crazy.
not expecting to see
Yeah.
someone in that environment. So
True.
you're like, their brain just doesn't register it. Lots of girls have had that experience where like they'll run into someone they know and they're like, oh my God, you look so much like this girl from work. And they're like, oh, that's crazy.
That's
So,
really funny.
yeah.
So weird. How do you handle the hate that you receive on social media because of being in the industry?
Yeah, look, overall, I don't think it gets to me too much. I'm pretty thick-skinned. I'm pretty confident. I think I'm a little bit older than most people in the industry, so that helps. I think having a background in the industry for so long before I started online really helped too, because, you know, I've had people say awful things to my face. So in a way, I think that's a lot worse than when it's online.
Yeah.
Most of the time with that stuff, I kind of think, you know, you don't know me, you're not actually talking about me. And that really helps. I try to have that kind of approach to it. I think sometimes people come out with like a really niche insult. That's really hard to take. Like,
Yes.
you know, that one person will pick on that thing that you're insecure about
Yes.
and no one's ever said anything about it before. And then, you know, they'll comment that and it's just like, oh my God, like that can be really hard. But look, overall, like now I do most of my social stuff on YouTube and my subscribers are lovely and they're really positive. So I don't think it's too bad, but
That's good.
Yeah.
It's funny that you said that niche comment thing because when I started TikTok before I started doing OnlyFans. And so I just started making random videos and I have never been insecure about my forehead ever in my life. But I started getting all these comments that I have a huge forehead and I'm an alien and all this stuff.
Yes.
And it's like, I never even thought about it. And
I know.
it affects you. You're like, wait, what?
It was the same for me with my teeth. So
Okay.
I never thought there was anything wrong with my teeth. And like I'd had braces as a kid and stuff like that. And then people kept commenting on my teeth. And I was like, what are they talking about?
Yeah.
I ended up going to the dentist and like getting Invisalign and everything. So like I've had Invisalign since then. Like I try to say something about my teeth now. Like I think they look
They look
pretty good.
amazing.
Thank you. But yeah, no, definitely it makes you think about things that you didn't necessarily think about before.
How many videos are you watching to be able to pick this one thing
Yes.
Yeah.
that no
It's
one else
crazy.
notices?
Yeah. Because I can't tell you how, I mean, it's never happened. I've seen a video of someone and thought, wow, they have a huge nose or they have, you know, big fat cheeks or something. Like I've never thought that about anyone.
I
So
know.
how closely are they watching these
But
videos?
when you keep getting the same comment over and
That's
over
when
again, it
it's-
starts to get you and you're like, hang on a
100%.
second.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm going to get some bangs cut now. Do you think doing OnlyFans has like affected your self-esteem or body image either positively or negatively?
Yeah, look, I think as a woman, like we all have body image issues. Like I think it's pretty much impossible to grow up in this society and not have them.
Yeah.
Overall, I would say being in the industry and doing OnlyFans has actually been positive for me. You know, there's for every negative comment, there are so many nice comments.
So true.
And, you know, I hear so many lovely things about my body all the time that it's definitely made me a lot more confident. But of course, you know, there are those things that, you know, like we said, you with my teeth, like I didn't necessarily think about it. And then I did go and, you know, get my teeth, you know, changed because of that. So of course it's had an impact, but overall I would say it's actually made me more confident in myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
I
me
think
too.
I've like really come to accept my body and stuff. But as you said, yeah, you do get those insecurities from those mean comments.
But
Of course.
they're not the subscribers.
They're not the subscribers.
the
From
social media.
Yeah, that's what I always tell people. I'm like, you know, you get hate on social media, but like your subscribers who've paid money to see you, like they're not going to be the ones that are saying something mean.
They're all like, you're an absolute goddess.
I know.
Like,
They're like, you're the most
praise
beautiful
be.
woman I've ever seen. And I'm just like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
So you also own an OnlyFans management agency with your husband.
Mhm.
When did that start and why did you guys start?
Yeah, so it's been around for about 2.5 years, I would say. So not long after I started OnlyFans, you know, when I kind of took off and went viral and, you know, started having a really big following, I really needed help from other people. You know, as you guys would know, like when your page gets to a certain size, like you do need a bit of support with things like editing and uploading content and stuff like that. So I ended up just kind of growing this team of people around me to help me manage my own OnlyFans and my own online business. And then, you know, I helped a friend get started on the platform, and my sister actually wanted to do OnlyFans too, so I helped her, and it just kind of really organically grew from there. And I think, you know, I realized that there are lots of management companies, but we aren't doing what everyone else does, and there was a real gap in the market for someone that was going to actually help people from the beginning and build them from the ground up and help them to establish their brand. And I often say, you know, I wouldn't even refer to us as an OnlyFans management agency. I would say we're a talent management agency and a social media management agency, and that's what we specialize in. So it definitely kind of happened very organically in the beginning, and it's kind of grown from there and taken on a life of its own. I think we have 10 staff now, which is just crazy to think that, you know,
That's
it's
amazing.
gotten there in 2.5 years. So, but yeah, you know, it's a business owned by me. I'm a creator. I'm a woman. All of our staff are women. The only man in the business is my husband. So I think we're really unique in that way.
Yeah. I actually heard about your agency about a year ago. My friend was saying that one of her friends is with Blue Rose.
Yeah.
And all I heard was good things. It's the most
that's
amazing
so nice.
agency, like just raved about it. And
that's lovely.
yeah,
Thank you.
it's rare that you hear that about an agency.
It is. And, you know, people often say to me, like, you know, oh, what would your advice be for people, you know, looking for an OnlyFans management agency? And I always say, like, you have a right to be skeptical because agencies have a bad reputation for a reason. And a lot of them are really predatory. So, you know, we from the beginning wanted to do something different, and we want to support our clients and help them, you know, to be successful in every aspect of their business. So it's really lovely to hear that feedback.
Yeah, it's amazing. Should be so proud.
Thank you. Yeah, I am really proud, and I have, you know, really amazing relationships with our clients, and, you know, I consider them close friends. So it's been amazing to be able to do something like that.
Can I ask, how many clients do you have?
So at the moment we have 10.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, our staff to client ratio is a bit crazy. 10 staff, 10 clients.
But that's
That's
good
good,
because
yeah.
everyone would feel looked after.
100%.
Exactly,
Is that where you cap it, or would you like let more people in, or?
I wouldn't say it's necessarily capped exactly at that, but we are definitely growing. We're looking to take on new clients and new staff.
Yeah.
We're always looking to hire good people and take on great clients. So yeah, we're definitely not capping it. But that's just, yeah, we definitely do have all hands on deck. Like we're very, very close with all of our clients. You know, they're always texting me, you know, at all hours.
Oh, that's so
you
cute.
know, yeah, I probably need to have better boundaries with that, actually.
No, I think that's a good way to run it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love it.
So what are your plans for the business? Do you have any like future goals or anything you want to achieve?
Definitely. Yeah. I think I would love to grow from where we are now. You know, we're still pretty small, but I would love to be able to help more creators. We do have some exciting new projects happening. We're actually in pre-production for a reality TV show.
Wow.
Yeah, kind of about the agency and about our clients.
Love
so
that.
that's really exciting. Can't really say too much about it right now, but I think it's going to be really cool.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What do you think the biggest misconception about sex workers is?
Yeah, I think there's a couple. I think that one of the big ones is that, you know, people in this industry are stupid, are bimbos, you know, dumb. Like that's definitely a big misconception. And I think it's complete bull. Like the smartest people I've met are sex workers.
I agree.
You know, and I've met so many incredibly intelligent women in this industry. I mean, to be successful on OnlyFans, you genuinely have to be a marketing genius.
100%.
You know, and so I think that's huge. The other one I would say is that it's easy money. And I think that is actually a really harmful misconception because a lot of people are kind of coming into this industry thinking that they're going to make heaps of money, and it's just not the case.
Yeah.
It's so competitive. It's so saturated. And so I think it's, definitely not easy money. I'm not sure why people think that, but yeah.
Yeah, that's so true.
I've talked about this before, but every time someone says that it's easy money, I'm like, sometimes I'll get off a live stream and I've had the best live stream. I love doing them, made so much money, but I'll just look at my boyfriend and just tear up and be like, I'm so tired.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, you do. You have to work really hard. And even just like starting from the beginning, it's like you don't just make an account and then all the money just floods in. Like you have to work so hard to get the subscribers to, you know, get yourself off the ground.
It's just, it's a general misconception about the industry. You know, when I was a dancer, it was the same. You know, people would always say, oh, it's so easy. Like you don't have to do anything and you make all this money. And I was like, okay, well, let's see you go into a VIP booking with a guy for 3 hours and keep him entertained.
So
and
true.
Let's see how you do. Like
I
it
could
is
not.
not easy.
So we always ask this question to all of our guests. What is the craziest request you've ever received on OnlyFans?
Yeah, I don't know if it's that crazy, but when I first started, I had this guy who he would pay me literally thousands of dollars for censored images. So,
No way.
Yeah, so basically nudes, but blurred, so you couldn't actually see anything.
That is the dream.
And yeah, it is. It's like it's not even a nude photo. But yeah, it's a really specific like fetish.
Yeah. I haven't heard of it.
Yeah, it was actually so much fun. Like when I first started kind of having this guy, and you know, we would talk all the time, and I would make all these, you know, images for him, and yeah, he was paying the rent for a while.
Yeah,
Oh my
wow.
goodness. It must be like an imagination thing. Like
Yeah.
he likes to
Leave it to the imagination.
I think it's kind of goes into the like cuck realm.
Okay,
Oh,
yes.
You know, it's kind of like, oh, you're too like pathetic to see my
Yes.
naked body.
Gotcha.
You can't handle it. That
Uh-huh.
kind of thing.
Yeah, that makes
That's
sense.
so cool. I've never heard of
No,
that.
neither.
It's very niche.
Yeah.
You know what I really struggle with? SPH, which for those that don't
I
know,
love that.
I'm good at it. I'm great.
I'm so good at it too. I'm like, give it to me.
Caleb, just so you know, that's small penis humiliation.
Oh, cool.
See, I can't insult someone for 3 minutes. Like sometimes I'll get a 3-minute custom and I'm like, I can't insult someone for 3 minutes. Like I don't know how.
Oh my God. Next time you get a custom request like that, just message me.
Okay.
I'll send you a voice note.
Okay, give me a
Because
script.
I'm so good with that stuff. I'm like, man wants to be humiliated. I'm
I could
ready.
do it.
Sometimes though, if it was 3 minutes, I feel like I would have to like stop and then like
Yes.
regroup, get back into character, start again.
My thing is I talk really quickly. So I'm like, you're pathetic, you're this, you're that. And then next minute it's only 30 seconds and I've done everything I can.
Or just
You
charge
know,
him the
my
same for 1
favorite
minute.
thing with those is to get like an object and like hold up an object and be like, oh my God, like your dick is probably smaller than this.
Yeah.
Like highlighter.
I
you know?
had
That's
someone
good.
who wanted that with
Yeah.
a pencil.
Oh,
He's like, please get a pencil and compare me to a pencil. I was like, sure.
can do.
I can do that. So your husband does OnlyFans with you now. What did he do before that?
So he actually is a medical doctor, a GP by training. Yeah. So, and he actually retired from that to help me with my OnlyFans page when it just got so busy. I, you know, needed the help. So it's kind of crazy. You know, when I met him, he was a doctor and I was like, oh my God, like I'm marrying a doctor. Like he's going to take care of me, you know, and now here we are. I'm the sole applicant on our mortgage. And I'm just like, how did this happen?
Where did I go wrong here?
Yeah, like I'm like reverse trophy wife or something.
It's like that meme that's always on Instagram. It's like, Mum, I am the rich man.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like happened by accident. I'm like, I didn't expect this, but yeah, no, we love working together.
Do you think it's okay if you don't want to answer this, but do you think he's earning more money now than he would be as a doctor?
Yeah, definitely.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's huge.
Yeah. Obviously, we run the business together and, the business has been really successful. So he's definitely making more money now than he would have as a doctor. Yeah.
How, also you don't have to answer if you don't want to, how do your subscribers feel about you openly being in a relationship? I have some that love it, some that hate it.
Yeah, I actually haven't been open about it. This is kind of the first time where I've just decided, look, it's time. But I think they probably assume because they see all of our content together and they know obviously that it's the same person, I think, some people like it, some people don't. But I think a lot of subscribers, like, they know you probably do have a partner, but I'm still happy to play into the fantasy of being single, if that's what somebody wants. Like, there's, it's a fantasy at the end of the day. And like, I know that and they know that and we can still have fun.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for joining us, Quinn. We've loved having you on.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I had so much fun with you girls.
Oh, you're welcome.
So where can our listeners find you on social media and your management company as well?
Yeah, so I am the Quinn Everly on Instagram and my management company is Blue Rose Talent on Instagram. So you can check me out there.
Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, next up we have our Do You Remember segment. And if you don't remember, funnily enough, this is where Taylor and I both come up with something that might have happened in the past. It could be like a food that we ate when we were younger, or a store that used to exist when we were younger, a celebrity, literally anything. So let's get into it. Do you remember? Taylor, do you remember Video Easy?
Yeah.
And going to the video store on a Friday night with your girlfriends.
Yeah.
And doing
I had a Blockbuster.
a
closer to
Blockbuster.
me.
They're good too.
So much fun.
So much fun. I was thinking about it the other day. I'm like, that was such a hot experience. You would finish school on a Friday and you guys would have a sleepover at someone's house. You'd all go home there and then you'd go to the video store and every week there'd be like the new releases or like the best sellers or whatever. And you'd get like 3 DVDs. We did horror a lot.
Oh.
We loved a horror.
I didn't really like horror until the last few years.
Okay. I don't like it anymore.
No.
No, I like it more now.
Okay.
But when I was younger, I would just, you couldn't get me to watch Paranormal Activity.
Oh my God. No, it gave me
But
so
now I
many
like it.
nightmares. Oh, no.
I actually watched The Ring for the first time
Oh, no.
a few
What
months
is
ago.
wrong with you?
I don't know.
Do you
I
not
can
get scared?
I can completely detach from it
I can't.
and think about it being fake.
So
You kind of have to think about how they do it to make
Yeah.
it real,
I think,
if you know what I mean.
yeah, I think the Paranormal Activity ones and like the ghost ones and stuff like that freaks me out because I believe in that stuff.
Yeah.
Mm.
So that really rocks me.
Yeah.
Whenever I
fine.
watch something like that, because I believe in it too, but I just think that it's the house that's haunted.
Oh yeah, so it's not
It's
going to
not
happen.
me. There's
Yeah.
no one is coming for me right now.
True. Do you watch it with the lights off?
Yeah.
No. And do you watch it before bed?
Yeah.
I could not. I feel sick.
Sometimes you have to like put The Simpsons or something on after. before
Oh,
you go to
Yeah,
bed.
that's what I would have to do if you could even make me watch it.
Yeah, I do remember. I just thought as well, I remember my mum always being like, get one that's 3 days or 7 days. Don't get a one-nighter. And I used to be
Oh.
so mad at her.
What, because you would forget to return it or?
Well, she just didn't want to go back to the shops the next day. And as an adult now, I'm thinking, yeah, like fair call.
Gotcha.
But when I was a kid, it was not very
But
fair.
the one night is all the new ones, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. That would be so
It
shit.
makes sense why she didn't want us to get them.
Yeah.
Because it was just a lot of effort. She's
It's
like,
a
you're
lot
not
of
going to watch it tonight anyway. You don't need it. But I would throw a tantrum.
Yeah, I would too.
Okay. Annie, do you remember? I have a photo for reference, but do you remember going into like Kmart or Sanity I had near me and the big poster like frames that you would flip
Yes.
through of the posters?
Yes.
And then they were rolled up underneath. And
Yes.
you pick the number
But wait, what was that for?
for anything.
Oh my God,
They
yes.
still have them.
I remember
Really?
I
that.
think in some places they still have them.
Like
I feel I've seen
where?
them
We'll
at
have
JB
to-
Hi-Fi.
JB Hi-Fi.
Because they're the posters, you mean, of like the
Yeah.
albums and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just flick through
I
and you'd like
remember.
look at them all and they were like $20 or $30. So I don't think I ever had them. All my
No.
posters were ripped out of magazines.
Same.
But
That's so funny.
So
Yeah.
cool.
I totally forgotten about that.
I'm going to have a look in JB Hi-Fi next time. I actually went in the
Yeah.
other day because I want to start collecting records
Yes, that's
Yeah.
fun.
and get a record player.
I would love to collect all the Taylor Swift records.
They're expensive.
I
Yeah,
know.
They're expensive.
Like the
But
most expensive one of
worth
hers
it?
was 120.
Fuck.
Yeah.
What?
And the other ones were $70.
That's highway robbery.
Which if you're buying like 10.
Oh, 70 isn't bad.
Is
Yeah.
that okay?
70 is pretty standard.
I'm not really
Yeah.
sure what the
No, I
going
collect
value
records
is.
myself, and it's pretty
Oh.
standard.
yeah, okay.
And I want like a bubblegum Barbie pink
Love
record
that.
player.
I would
So-
love a vintage, older style looking one, I
Yeah.
reckon.
Yeah.
My brother has
Cool.
one. I'm so jealous.
But I'm going to wait until I buy a house and have a room for
Yep.
just all my fun pink things.
You know, can I just say, I'm just adding this in, it's totally random, but I always thought, oh, when I own a house, I'll have plenty of room to like put everything in.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's full now. Like I have all these posters I want to put up of like Taylor Swift and stuff. There's nowhere to put them. I've filled my whole house. And then I'm like, yeah, I'd love to have a record player. Where would I put it? My house is like full to the brim of like there's furniture. And
I'm going to
there's-
have to come and see it because
Yeah.
I think that too. I'm like, okay, so I'm probably going to need like 3 or 4 bedrooms
Yes,
because
4.
I want to have my bedroom and then a filming room.
Yes.
And I want to have a room with like a desk and a pink couch and like a big neon light. That's going to be like the
Cute.
little, like my room.
Mm-hmm.
And then he can do what he wants with other room. I don't care.
Yeah, but like so I've got 3 bedrooms. You'd be surprised. Like I've got a study, which is sort of like my I've got a white couch but pink pillows, and it's like my
Yeah.
pink room. And then I've got my guest bedroom, my bedroom, and that's it. And then it's like, where do I put all my cool stuff?
You need a collector's room.
I know I need a collector's room. Where I might
Just
build
gonna
one.
have to upgrade.
Yeah.
But then I find a dream home that's like 5 bedrooms and it's like $2.8 million
Yeah.
in Newcastle. I'm like,
Sick.
amazing.
One day.
Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode, guys.
Make sure to follow us on Spotify and Apple Music and check us out on social media. We are doubledose.thepodcast.
And we'll be back next week.
Double dose.